All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well today on this fine Sunday afternoon, September the 12th. Anyway, just decided to get out and check some trail cameras, get some refreshed, and put out, attractants. And this is what I picked up last night. Can anybody tell what I'm about to do today? So, just getting ready for that bow season. I really don't start bow hunting for deer until probably close to November. I might get out a couple times if the leaves start coming down in October or the weather starts turning. Did buy a big new freezer. Well, not a new freezer, but a new freezer to us. So I got plenty of room. Plenty of room this year for whatever comes my way or I decide to harvest. Anyway, I'll take you out here and show you one of my routes, some of my stands, a couple of my food plots. Nothing special, just real small micro food plots, attractants, get the does coming in, and hopefully those bucks will follow. So stay tuned. Come along with me for the, I'd say ride, but it's going to be mostly walking. Alright. Heading down into our first trail. Buckwheat mix along with radishes and stuff like that in here. This buckwheat is supposed to get hit real hard after the first freeze, is what I'm told. So we'll see. There's one of my tree stands right there. Weird, I can't see it in the camera. And there's where I have one of the drippers for the buck doe urine. So we'll check that out, fill that up. They always scrape right there. And they got another scrape area on the other side of the forest property. Alright, we're down here. I carved out that little drinking hole, and it is holding water as intended. And really, that's all I was really wanting. It's about that size. Even though naturally it had a whole lot more dug out, so I can always come in, dig out some of this mud that eroded down in there. But really most interested in, there's a few old tracks around here. You can see where deer and turkeys have been getting in there. Definitely some tracks right there. Nothing extremely fresh, but there's other water sources currently. So, all right, I'm gonna put a camera around here somewhere. Probably over that way. All right, this is not one of my normal setups, but just trying to get a camera down on this little watering hole.
So, see how it goes here. Bought some of these hangers on sale. They come in handy. They're not the best, I found out, but they do the job as long as you get them started in the tree and really don't do any damage to the tree. And these are just some cheap Hawk trail cams I picked up at Rural King one day last year when they had a big sale going on. They're not the best cameras, but for zeroing in on deer herd numbers, not picture, then I can always put a camera in when I'm zeroing in on a nice buck or something like that, or a nice area. Right now I'm just trying to see if there's any activity with this camera. And then I'll put my good cameras out if I find something. Always make sure your camera's turned on. It's the most disappointing thing when you go back to check the card after about a couple weeks and you found out that you didn't turn your camera on. So rule number 1. Along with fresh batteries and a empty card. So anyway, that camera is dialed in right there, so it should capture anything coming to that water hole or walking by it. There's a natural trail that walks right by it too, so we'll see what happens. Come back in a few days, a week, and check the card. All right, this is one of those areas that's a scraping area every year, especially old logging trails. They tend to like that, and then they will hit spots and have a territorial scrape or a communication scrape every year. So that's one of these right here. So we'll get at least a drip going. This is the drip that I had up there last year, and we'll go ahead and fill it up and see what happens. But it was a pretty active area here last year. You can see the branch, that's the licking branch right here, and how they've broken it down and just constantly communicate with each other, the local deer here. So this is one of those tools I never really believed in too much until I tried it myself on my property here. And the deer act so much differently on your own property if they're not heavily hunted, or if the area is not heavily populated. Like for instance, I've got 15 acres here. 50 acres behind me is all woods from a neighbor. No population, nothing on that. And then there's 170 acres beyond that, which has a little bit of hunting pressure, it looks like, from the owner there. But for the most part, these deer act totally different than all the public deer hunting that I've done in the past. They're very vocal too, I found that out. A lot of grunting, a lot of activity like that. So let's go ahead and get this Wildlife Magnum juicer, whatever you want to call it, set up. I'll show you how it's actually done on the next one, which is new and not attached to the tree. But you want to just dump the juice down into the bottle here, and then somehow it activates the drip during sunny days, or during the daytime hours. The light will activate the drip. This is the idea. You get the bucks up and about during the daytime. Ugh. Whew, smells. Ugh. If you don't like the smell, wear gloves. That's what I say. But Magnum dripper, and then it should drip right down there. This area here, you can already see some deer tracks in there. No scrapes, but some deer tracks where they've been munching on this tree limb here throughout the year. I guess I didn't think about people. Some people don't know what it entails. So it's pretty simple. Got a battery pack. At least these do. Some have external batteries you can hook up. Then I run the cheap cameras, like I said, for locating. And then the battery pack just has these terminals go inside the camera here, and then it locks down like so. Then you have a little spot for an SD card, which I just bought some new ones. You just put that in there, and it's on right now, but we want to set it. So you gotta set the day and time on all this. Long enough for the batteries to lose its setting. So 30 seconds, I got video mode on. And that's pretty much all it is for these cameras. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. Remember, #1 rule is turn that camera on. Make sure it has fresh batteries and a card in it. It's counting down to the first video it's going to take, and it will take a picture of you all. Alright, we'll go hang this up like the other one. Okay, I'm going to start a drip right here. And I got a camera set up over on that tree right in front of me. That one right there. And I'll show you how this is done, hopefully. Definitely have to have some lower hanging limbs. And what the deer like around this area, a lot of times, are beech trees. Believe it or not. Because I guess the way the limbs hang down. And I think this was one of the areas that they had scraped up years past. This branch right here hangs. It's going to be my target. One of these be the target licking branches. Get this juice in here. Smelly, smelly stuff. Throw that over there with our other trash. Pick that up. Man, yeah, it is. Oh, limbs that hang way up here. Right there ought to be good. It is right there. And then drips down right about there. Then we have a camera on that tree right there, pointing this way. Sounds like a plan. Then my property is here, about the end of it right here, all the way down that ridge, and then up that big hill, and then down to the hill, down the hill to the house.